Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, the American ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, earlier this week made a statement which caused huge political storm in the country. She actually supported the finance bill. And for those who follow the politics of the Republic of Kenya, during that particular time, Kenyans were really opposed to the finance bill, which begs the question, why would the American ambassador support the finance bill? Because for me, I don't even understand whether Kenyans are interested in the finance bill of America. And the response to her statement was fast and furious. Let me just give you what Mwarimu Mutema wa Kiama posted, that someone needs to call out this woman and her BS. Is she even listening to herself? Kenya finance bill good for America investors, is asking. It's supposed to be good for Kenyan citizens, with others being beneficiaries. And personally, that's also my thought, that the finance bill should actually be good for Kenyans. Megman stated three things, and that is why I want us to look at, to do a critical analysis about her statement. That the finance bill is actually a gateway for American companies into the Republic of Kenya. You know, if that's the case, then I think it's a good bill, because American companies coming into the country would create more opportunities for Kenyans. And she's also suggesting that the finance bill will actually enable Kenyan economy to grow exponentially. On that, maybe debatable, but let us wait and see. And lastly, she's also suggesting that the finance bill will ensure the adoption of transparent tax regime. And that's why Kenyans are like, is she really understanding what she's talking about? And because in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, everything in politics normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. I want us to look at why she made this statement. Because for those who are still actively remembering what happened just before the Supreme Court made their ruling, the American embassy issued a statement or a travel advisory to its citizens. And they were very clear that the citizens should actually not go to Kisumu and Kibra. And Kenyans concluded by that time that the Supreme Court was actually going to rule in favor of William Samoei Arap Ruto. And you also remember at the Bomas of Kenya, the same ambassador was the first one to arrive there. And most Kenyans believe very strongly that William Ruto is actually a puppet or a project of the US government, and actually with the British government. So I want us to look at this particular statement. Why the timing? Because remember, by this time, I think the matter was supposed to be determined by court. The matter was still in court, and she went ahead and talked about it. Why would you think she was doing that? Before we do all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And without any further ado, please let us dive in. And I want to ask you this simple question. What do you think is the main interest of American government in this particular Kenya Kwanza regime? Let me know in the comments section. But for me, the fact that this lady, the ambassador, would go out publicly and praise this particular bill, I think she wanted to achieve these 5 objectives. Number one, The message she's sending is that there is American government hand in this particular bill. And the fact is, there is no way you will expect the American government to support William Samoei Arap Ruto and oppose this finance bill. If they were to oppose it, probably they would have done much earlier. So if you ask me, American government is fully behind William Ruto's regime. And they're trying so hard to ensure that the regime does not really fail. If this finance bill had failed in parliament, or even if the courts will rule against it, clearly something is wrong somewhere. And the American government would not want, because it's their project, they would not want a situation where Ruto fails. Ruto is playing a critical role for American government at the international front there. So for me, that's number one. They are showing their hands in William Ruto's regime. Number two, if you ask me, I interpret this statement and the timing as a coded message to Azimio and their planned demonstrations. You know, American government from those early years, the 90s, have always sided with the opposition. But this one here, they are not with the opposition at all. They're actually in bed with government. That is the fact. So Azimio are planning some demonstrations which will be on Friday. Then on Tuesday, or was it on Monday, the American government, American ambassador to Kenya comes out during their 247th anniversary of their independence, somewhere in Nairobi, and is announcing to the entire country that the finance bill is a very good document. Assuming the WikiLeaks were to be alive today, I think the guy is still in prison. What kind of leaks do you think Cable Secret, do you think he'll be able to pick from the country? The fact is, they are sending a message to Azimio brigades that for us as US government, we are with William Ruto and you are with this bill, and therefore you are on your own. The truth of the matter is that the American government have actually tried so hard to bring Raila Odinga and William Ruto on a table, but with one condition, that Raila Odinga accepts to be the official opposition leader. Nothing like handshake. They want to create the office of official opposition, which they will then fund with a strategy of checkmating Ruto. There's a time I explained to you guys here that after William Ruto was declared the president, the American government realized that probably Ruto was not the right candidate, but they knew that William Ruto had some weakness, so they can actually easily manipulate him. So they want to have Raila Odinga, but to use Raila Odinga and Azimio to checkmate Ruto. So their interest, and that's why if you read that's why in her statement she talked of finance bill will ensure the adoption of transparent tax regime. What is that? Do we have transparency in this republic of ours called Kenya? We don't. And number three, I also tend to think that the message was actually a coded message also to the courts. You know, the courts in the Republic of Kenya are normally, their rulings are normally influenced by several other factors, both internal and external. For example, there are many people, because I talked to a lot of people who participated in the last Supreme Court ruling, they participated in that election, they tell me that the US government was actually the ones which influenced Wafula Chebukati to declare Ruto. It is the same Supreme Court that influenced the Supreme Court, and that's why they knew the outcome of the presidential election before Chebukati announced it, and also the outcome of the Supreme Court ruling. So they're sending a coded message to the courts that for us as America, we support this bill. And of course, the High Court is definitely going to make a ruling. They were supposed to make a ruling yesterday. They extended it. And the fact is that High Court ruling on finance bill is going to favor the government. Just wait and see and come back to me here. Number 4, it's also very clear from her statement that to America, as long as their interests are catered for, they don't care. Otherwise, I would have expected this lady to even indicate that majority of Kenyans are actually against this bill, the finance bill, if she was honest. Because I'm sure American government have intelligence report. And that intelligence report, if it's genuine, should have told them that majority of Kenyans are actually against this particular bill. And despite the fact that we are supporting it, majority of Kenyans are not for it. So probably would have changed. But as long as their interests are taken care of, they don't care. And lastly, I'm looking at it from BRICs politics. For those who follow a bit of regional politics, BRICS is actually a grouping of the world's leading emerging market economy. BRICS simply means Brazil, Russia, India, and China. It used to be BRIC, but now South Africa also joined, and now they're calling it BRICS. You see, in Kenya, we trade internationally using the dollar. So BRICs are actually trying to introduce their own currency. They're trying to fight the influence of dollar in the world. So that if you want to trade in China, you'll use BRIC. If you want BRIC currency, if you want to trade in Russia, India, you'll use BRIC. And that's going to have huge impact on dollar. And based on William Ruto's latest moves, there's a chance that he was trying to move towards BRIC. And American government are watching him. So they're telling him no. But as much as they are telling him, what is he giving him back in return? The support which they are offering. So for me, I look at these statements with a BRIC lens. I don't know what to think. That's my take. And please, in case you're watching the video for the first time, take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. By the way, look ikoaje leo. Bye bye.